Silence has a language of its own, and when a woman stops speaking, that silence can echo louder than any words ever could. It doesn't shout, it doesn't beg, but it reveals everything you need to know about where a man truly stands. When a woman withdraws her words, her energy, her attention, a man's reaction becomes her answer. Because here's the truth. Silence is powerful, but what a man does or doesn't do in response to it is even more telling. Some men step up, some vanish completely, and some, they don't even notice. And right there, that's your truth. That's your clarity. That's the silent test that reveals how deeply or shallowly he values your presence. You need to understand something fundamental about men. They are natural problem solvers. If something matters to them, they don't just ignore it, they act. If a man cares about you, your silence won't feel comfortable to him. It'll feel like an alarm going off in the middle of the night. He'll notice. He'll feel the gap, and he'll come looking. Not because you begged, but because you matter. Think about it. When you lose your phone, what do? You turn the house upside down looking for it. If your car breaks down, you find a way to fix it. If you lose your job, you hustle to get another one. That's what people do when they value something. So why would a man who claims to love you just sit back and watch you go silent? Why wouldn't he move? Why wouldn't he ask? A man who truly cares will feel the shift in your energy even before you say a word. He'll notice the silence between your texts, the emptiness in your tone, the space you've created around your heart. And he'll step into that space, not to invade it, but to understand it. Because love, real love, doesn't ignore, it leans in. A real man doesn't wait for convenience. He doesn't only show up when he needs something, he shows up because you matter. And when you fall silent, he'll ask questions. He'll say, "Are you okay?" He'll say, "Something who feels off. Talk to me." That's how you know he's serious. Not by his promises, but by his presence when it matters most. But on the other hand, if he does nothing, no call, no message, no concern, then the silence won't affect him. Why? Because in his world, you were never a priority to begin with. And yes, that's painful. Women often try to rationalize it. Maybe he's just busy. Maybe he's overwhelmed. Maybe he doesn't know how to express himself. But here's the hard truth. A man who truly wants to be in your life will never risk losing you just because things got hard. He will find a way. Even if it's imperfect, even if it's messy, he will act. Silence is not just a reaction, it's a test. It draws a clear line in the sand, because while women often communicate through words, men reveal themselves through actions. When you remove your words, your attention, your affection, what's left is his true behavior. His response to that void will tell you everything you need to know. If he values you, he will find a way to reach you. He'll call, he'll show up, he'll do something. Because the idea of losing you will unsettle him. If he doesn't, then you've already got your answer. A man who sees you as essential will always take steps to fix what's broken. He won't let you slip away quietly. He won't wait until it's too late. He'll notice the silence, and more importantly, he'll respond to it. But a man who only ever saw you as an option, he'll let you walk away without hesitation, without a fight. And that, right there, is why silence is one of the most powerful tools a woman can use. Because too often, women over-explain, overextend, overgive. They try to fill the silence with effort, when sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. So after you've stepped back and gone silent, here's where the truth starts to unfold. Many women still struggle in that quiet. They want to fix it, to explain, to make him understand. They think maybe if they say the right thing, send one more text, check in just once more, maybe then he'll get it. But sometimes the most powerful move is to do absolutely nothing at all. Stop texting first. Stop planning everything. Stop checking in to see how he's doing. Just pause and watch what happens. Because that moment of silence, it speaks louder than any long message you could ever send. If he steps up, you'll know he cares. If he does nothing, you'll know he never really did. And if he gets mad at you for going quiet, that tells you even more. A man who genuinely cares will want to understand the silence. He'll lean in. He'll ask questions. He'll want to bridge the gap. But a man who only wants control, he'll get frustrated, not because he misses you, but because he can't manipulate you the way he used to. He can't pull the same strings now that you've stopped reacting. That's why silence isn't about playing games. It's about reclaiming your self-respect. It's giving space, not for him, but for you, to finally see who he really is. Because when you remove the noise, the effort, the emotional labor, you're left with his actions. And that's all you need to know. A man who values you will not be comfortable with distance. He won't sit back and watch you fade without doing something about it. He'll make a move because losing you simply isn't an option for him. He'll reach out, he'll try, he'll act. Because effort is a reflection of value. When a man is truly invested, he pays attention. Not just to your words, but to your silences. He picks up on the shifts in your energy, on the things you don't say. Because when someone loves you, they don't just hear your voice, they feel your silence. And that silence, it reveals effort, or the lack of it. If you stop texting, stop calling, stop chasing, and he doesn't even notice, doesn't even reach out, that's all the clarity you need. That's not love. That's not partnership. That's convenience. And it's painful. Yes, but it's also a wake-up call, because real men don't ignore what they value. If he lets you go without hesitation, without a fight, without a second thought, then he never saw you as a priority in the first place. Harsh truth? Maybe, but truth nonetheless. It's easy for a man to say he cares when everything's going well, but what does he do when you pull back? When you stop pouring all your energy into the relationship? If he values you, he will feel the difference. He will take action. He'll come forward to fix what's been broken. Not perfectly, maybe, but sincerely. But if he doesn't, that means you were the only one holding things together. And that's not love. That's emotional labor disguised as a relationship. Silence reveals all. It shows you where you stand. It separates interest from investment. It's not the absence of noise. It's the presence of truth. So next time you're unsure about where you stand with a man, don't argue, don't beg. Don't send a long explanation trying to get him to understand. Just be still. Pull back. Let the silence do the talking. His response, or his lack of one, will give you the answer. Too many women fall into the trap of overgiving. They think if they try harder, love more, prove their worth, he'll finally show up. But relationships don't work that way. You can't earn someone's love by exhausting yourself. A man who cares doesn't need to be convinced. He doesn't need reminders. He shows up because you matter. Think about it. Have you ever seen a man forget to check his phone when he's waiting for an important call? Has he ever forgotten the score of his favorite team's game? No, because what matters to him, he tracks, he prioritizes, he remembers. So if he's not checking on you, if he's not texting, if he's not making effort, it's because you're not that important to him. And that's a hard truth, but one that frees you. Because once you accept it, you stop wasting time trying to prove your worth to someone who was never capable of recognizing it in the first place. Pulling back isn't losing, it's learning. And your silence, it's not emptiness, it's clarity. Love, real love, isn't something you have to beg for. It flows naturally when both people truly value each other. But here's the truth most women struggle to accept. When you remove yourself from the equation, when you stop initiating, when you stop chasing, and he does absolutely nothing, that's not love. That's not connection. That's just comfort. He wasn't contributing energy. He was only responding to yours. And that's not a relationship. That's a performance, with you playing all the roles. Men by nature are action-oriented. You may not always hear the words you want, but pay attention. His actions are his truth. If he wants to see you, he'll find time. If he wants to talk to you, he'll reach out. If he wants to keep you in his life, he'll make an effort. No excuses, no mixed signals. It's tempting to rationalize his distance. Maybe he's scared. Maybe he's overwhelmed. Maybe he's just not good at communication. But here's what matters more than maybes. When a man genuinely wants to be in your life, he makes it known. He doesn't leave you wondering. He doesn't let silence linger like it means nothing. He shows up. Silence isn't a manipulation tactic. It's clarity. It's stepping out of the noise and giving him space to show his true intentions. Will he step forward, or will he fade away? That decision tells you everything. Many women, especially those with big hearts, feel this urge to over-explain, to remind him of their worth, to fight for the love they believe is possible. But hear this, the right man doesn't need convincing. You won't have to chase his attention. You won't have to guess his feelings. You won't have to beg to be seen. And if he lets you go without a second thought, then he was never truly invested. That truth hurts, yes, but it also sets you free. Because now you stop waiting. You stop hoping. You stop exhausting your energy trying to prove yourself. The man who truly values you will not let silence stand. Even if he's busy, even if he's stressed, he'll still make room for you. He will protect what he values. He won't risk losing you to pride, ego, or hesitation. If he doesn't notice you've gone silent, that's your answer. And it's a painful one. But it's also powerful because you no longer need to invest in someone who's incapable of loving you the way you deserve. Women must stop settling for convenience disguised as connection. Stop making excuses for men who only show up when it benefits them. Stop believing that loving harder will make him love you more. Silence cuts through all the noise. It shows you who he really is. Was he truly invested or just enjoying the attention? A man who genuinely cares will be uncomfortable with your silence. He'll feel the shift. He'll ask questions. He'll reach out. He'll act. But if he does nothing, if the silence stretches and he remains still, then he was never afraid of losing you, because you were never something he truly fought for. That realization, as sharp as it feels, is also your freedom. It's your green light to stop giving, stop explaining, and start letting go. Real men don't ignore what they love. They don't let silence grow. They don't risk losing someone they value. If he lets distance replace connection, believe what that tells you. If he does nothing to bridge the gap, believe what that says about his heart. A man who is serious about you will feel when something's off. Even if you don't say a word, he'll tune into your energy. He'll notice the absence of your light, and he'll do whatever it takes to bring you back close. But a man who lets you slip away quietly, he wasn't all in. Maybe he liked the comfort. Maybe he liked the way you made him feel. But if he can watch you walk away and still not move, he never truly cared. Women often wait for the realization, wait for the message, wait for him to finally get it. But here's the truth. If he values you, he won't need time to figure it out. He won't wait until you're gone to understand your worth. He'll already know, and he'll already be showing it. So ask yourself, why are you holding on to someone who has already let go? Why are you making room in your heart for someone who never made room for you in his? A man who loves you will not let silence stretch into distance. He won't be still when he feels you drifting. He won't risk losing you, because to him, that loss would be unbearable. Let your silence speak. And if he answers with silence of his own, take it for what it is, the truth. Because at the end of the day, actions always speak louder than promises. And inaction, it speaks louder than both.